Hey, I'm Pastor Jonathan Richardson, and this is Faith Forward Today, where we are inspiring you to live by faith.
Hello, thank you so much for joining us on Faith Forward Today. I am L.A. Roberts, and I happen to be your beautiful host. Today, I have with me Pastor Jonathan Richardson, the pastor of Faith Forward Church. Not only that, but the author of Driving in the Faith Lane. How are you today, Pastor Richardson?
I'm so good, L.A. You are just making me so glad to be here with you today, because I'm first of all, I'm thankful for you. And I'm so excited that you're here to help get the word out about this new book, Driving the Faith Lane. And I'm just glad to be here with you and share the good news about this new book.
Well, I'm so excited that you allow me the opportunity to talk about this amazing book that just came out. You all, Driving in the Faith Lane is on its way to being a #1 bestseller. I just know it.
That's right.
And so I just want to dig a little deeper into exactly why you were encouraged to write this book. What was your motivation to come up with such an amazing book?
Well, it's an interesting kind of background. I actually wrote a little bit about it in the intro. But Atlanta has horrible traffic. Anybody that lives in Atlanta, I tell, don't move here. We are full. We have no more occupancy. Atlanta has horrible traffic, and I would be in my 2-hour commute to work, and I would think, well, what else could I do? A different route. There's got to be a different way to move about traffic. And then I thought about how I feel like people's lives are just as stuck as I was in that traffic.
Right.
That we're not moving anywhere. We know God, we love God, we have faith, but for whatever reason we feel stuck. And the road can seem long. It can seem tiresome. And that's one of the things I wrote in the description of the book. I said, well, there's a popular song that says life is a highway. Mm-hmm. And my question
I want to drive it all night
long. And the question I asked was, well, if life is a highway, what do you do when the road is long and tiresome?
Right.
You can't get off the road. You kind of have to keep moving. You can't stop in life. You have to keep moving. So I was sitting in traffic and I thought, man, when it's long and tiresome, what do you do? And then I started thinking about all the road signs that we see and things that we encounter while driving. And I thought, well, that's like life. I mean, in life you have no U-turn signs. And I thought about how in life you can't turn around. There's a chapter called No U-turns. There's a chapter called Road Work Ahead.
Yes.
When you're sitting in traffic and you're trying to figure out what's ahead of you and how in life you don't know what God is doing ahead of you. You just kind of have to sit and wait, be still, and know that He is God, that He's working on the road ahead of you. So that was my motivation. So the book has 12 chapters, and every chapter is based off of something you would see or a symbol while driving. And I really wanted to make this an applicable book. I didn't want it to be, something that would be above anyone's head. I just wanted it to be something that would be good devotional, every day, something you could apply right away. I have some personal stories, some personal testimonies. When I was a youth pastor, we served together at the same church.
Yes.
I have stories about when I would drive 2 hours each way, and how that was just a challenge, but God gave me the grace for it. And I just feel like in life you have to keep driving. There's a popular quote in the movie Finding Nemo, and he just says, just keep on swimming.
Right, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Well, in life, I think, you just got to keep driving.
Right.
You got to keep moving. So that's the motivation. And my prayer is that people who get this book, is that they're encouraged and inspired just to keep driving. Keep moving forward in life and trust that God is taking you somewhere intentional. Yeah.
Yes, that's very true. And I like that you said that you just have to keep driving, because looking at your book and just knowing you personally, I know that you have tremendous faith. And with that being said, you are the pastor of Faith Forward Church.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of the things that you do is surrounded in faith. So tell me, have you talked to your church about Driving in Faith Lane? Is this something that was, motivated by sermons past, or is this something that God just gave you to implement and to help people globally and worldwide?
Well, I believe that my highest spiritual gift is faith.
Okay.
I named the church Faith Forward because I was at a crossroads in my life at the time when I had the idea for the church. And something in my spirit, I remember it was a New Year's Eve service. I had kind of had a big letdown in my personal life. And something in my spirit just said, you have to have faith and move forward. And my whole ministry is kind of grounded and rooted in the fact that you still have to have faith. I tell people, I don't know how to turn my faith switch off. You know, I don't know how not to believe God. I just don't know how not to do it. And one of my prayers is that this book, even through the church and Faith Forward and this new show, Faith Forward Today, would just be a platform where people could not only find out about the church and our ministry, but that their faith could be inspired.
Yes.
And that they could use this book as a tool, use it as something in your church or something, in your personal life to help you just to keep moving. And I think the inspiration behind it, it really is just to inspire people, because when you get in a rough spot, and we all get in tight places,
yes,
you've got to do what the word says. You've got to believe that all things are possible to them that believe. You've got to keep the faith. And that's what I want to tell people today. Just keep the faith, keep moving, and stay inspired. Trust God, and he'll get you there.
Yes, that's very true. Now, let me ask you this. Where is your book available? Do people come to Faith Forward? Do people go online? Like, how can they get this amazing book, Driving in Faith Lane?
Well, it is on Amazon. You can download the Kindle version, of course. You can order a hard copy, or you can go to my website. My website is firstnamelastname.org, jonathanrichardson.org. And if you go on the website, I will autograph a personal copy, and I will send it to you in the mail. Just give you a personal touch, some words of encouragement. And, my prayer is that this book will be on every shelf in the years to come, that God will bless it, and that people will be blessed by the words in the book. Yeah.
That's amazing. So this book was actually divinely inspired.
It was. It was. I would say this, that most of us who create anything, I mean, if you're writing a book, if you are a playwright, if you are, a songwriter, they say art imitates life. That's what they say.
Right.
That whatever your art is, it imitates something that you've experienced in your life's journey. And I really feel like one of the reasons I exercise so much faith is because I know what disappointment looks like.
Yes.
I know what money problems look like. I know what family problems look like. I know what death in the family looks like. I know what losing jobs looks like. I know I know that we all have our share of troubles and things we go through, but we all have our own experience. And I think that God uses all of our experiences for our purpose. I don't think any opportunity or any experience is wasted. And that's one of the things I write about in this book. Some of the chapters talk about, what do you do after a divorce? Can you pull over? No U-turns. You got to keep moving.
Right.
What do you do after death in the family? You got to stay in the faith lane. There's a chapter in the book called Carpools. It's one of, I think, my favorite chapters. And carpools, as you know, is when you're traveling somewhere and you have other people riding with you.
Right.
And I make the point in the chapter that these long trips are always easier when you got somebody who can take the wheel for you and who can ride with you. And I make the point that you need people in your carpool, that when you get tired, you can say, hey, take the wheel. I need a nap. I'm tired. Yes. I'm weary.
Someone to stand in faith with you.
And stand in faith with you. And I really feel like that in all of our faith journey, we just need a companion.
Yes, that's true.
Of course, we know that the Lord is our companion. The Lord will never leave us or forsake us, but he sends people in our lives to be blessings to us and help us along the journey of faith. And I would just want to encourage anybody that will be reading this or watching this, just believe that through your faith, God is being intentional about the route that he has you on. He's intentional. There's another chapter in the book, LA, called Jesus Take the Wheel. We know that one.
Yes, yes.
We know there's another chapter called Jesus Take the Wheel. And just a matter of personal testimony, when I was a youth pastor, I drove 2 hours each way. I did that at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. 2.5 hour commute because the church was in one city and I was living and in school in another city, and I would commute. And I remember the last year of this commute, it's just like it just got hard. And I'm ashamed to admit this, but I wrote about it in the book. I mean, I caught myself at 1 and 2 in the morning driving and drifting, driving, needing to pull over. Yeah. And it wasn't just a physical tiredness, but it was a mental tiredness.
Yes.
It was a spiritual tiredness. And I know that people go through so much in life where you're not just physically tired, but you're spiritually drained. You've been praying, you've been fasting,
yes.
You're mentally exhausted. Yes. Your mind is so consumed with the things that you're going through, and you need Jesus to take the wheel. And I wrote about that in the book, that I needed Jesus to take the wheel. I needed Jesus. I needed the Lord. I needed God to take over for me. And even in my life currently, there's some things that I'm like, Lord, you need to take over the situation. You got to drive this. You got to get me out the driver's seat. Right. I need you to take the wheel and to take over so that I can get where I'm going. Because if I'm trying to do it by myself, then I'm doing something wrong. Right. I need to have faith that God is going to bless me and get me there. And these are just some of the chapters that I feel like will be very applicable, very just inspirational, something you can read. And I've got so many great reviews and something you can apply today and just help you to keep the journey of faith.
Well, that is amazing.
Yeah,
and I'm very excited about what's going to happen with this book and how many people it will touch, or not only in the country, but around the world. So I would suggest everyone now go and get a copy of Driving in the Faith Lane. You can get it personally from Pastor Richardson, or you can go on Amazon and get a copy. Yes. It's amazing. Tell us once again how we can go and get it.
Yes, you can go on Amazon, just type Driving in the Faith Lane. It will come right up. Or my website, jonathanrichardson.org.
That's yes.
Go right there. I will autograph you a copy, send one to you. And I'm just thankful for your time, participation. My prayer is that Faith Forward Today will be a program that can bless your life in applicable ways to apply your faith. And you can start by getting this book. I believe it'll bless your life. You can start by getting Driving the Faith Lane. It will be a blessing to your library.
Yes, it will. So I am L.A. Roberts, and I want to thank you today for joining us on Faith Forward Today. Have a wonderful day.